And now, straight from the horse's mouth, our Neil Young News Report.
Smell the horse on this one.
With this week's update from ThrashersWheat.org, here's Thrasher.
Hey, Thrasher here with this week's Neil Young News, and we're going to do something a little bit different this week. We've got something special coming up tonight that we're very excited about, and we'll talk about that in just a moment, but we're going to have a exclusive interview here on WBKM for the Arkansas girls that we've been talking about here for a little while. We'll get to that in just a moment, but first, in terms of what's going on with Neil Young news lately, seems that things continue to be quiet out at the ranch and shaky pictures and out on that whole front. So we've kind of talked about that a few times already this year, speculating about what's Neil going to play at the Music Cares event for Bruce Springsteen, and what's going on with Link Volt, and what's going on in the studio. But who knows? Time will reveal all. But in the meantime, we've thrown up a couple things on the blog. We had a giveaway of a vinyl record of Time Fades Away. That's a real rare vinyl copy, so you might want to check that out and throw your hat in the ring and see if you can get a copy of that. And we've had article on Everest, who was an opening band for Neil Young Crazy Horse last year. Link over to that. We just put up something on an inside look at Broken Arrow Ranch's Redwood Studios in an interview with engineer John Nowland. So that's pretty cool, especially if you're into all of the recording aspects, technical aspects of what goes into making a Neil Young record. So check that out. It's all there on the Thrashers Week blog at thrashersweek.org. So that's what's going on the Neil Young front. So let's move into the upcoming interview with the Arkansas girls. So what's that all about? Well, if you've been following the blog, you probably know a little bit about that. But for those of you who aren't keeping up with all of that, the short story on that is that we've got a couple of Neil Young fans from the Arkansas area who've been following Neil Young Crazy Horse for a long time, and this past summer they got together out at Red Rocks, and they had a little sign that said Arkansas girls love Crazy Horse, and we've got a picture of that on the blog. And they've been traveling around last fall and had several adventures, and we documented that on the blog, and we've got that running right now on Thrashers Week, so you can check out some more details on that. So they've had some excitement on the road, and at one point when they were at the Tulsa show, one of the Arkansas girls went down right before the show started on the floor there, and she missed the show, and that was quite sad. But all's well that ends well. As you'll hear soon, this all turned out to be a rather remarkable event. The short story on this is that when they came to the Fairfax, Virginia show at the Patriot Center, during the concert, Neil Young basically, saw them holding the sign right there in front of them, stopped and just spoke directly to the Arkansas girls during the concert, and we have to say that, that's truly a remarkable event because, we've been to, quite a number of Neil Young shows over the decades, and we've certainly, heard hundreds and hundreds of concert recordings and thousands of hours of concert tapes, and we are very hard pressed to ever recall, anything like this during a show where Neil so directly responds to folks in the audience specifically. And, usually it's been, sort of along the negative side of things when he's actually, kind of addressed someone, because they're causing trouble or yelling out requests or whatever. So it's a very nice story. definitely check out, the details. But in essence, Neil just said, we love you too, and we're going to come to Arkansas and play sometime. So that's all very cool, and so we're going to hear how that all went down, and really what how they felt about that. Sort of that magical moment that has been captured. It's on a YouTube video right before they played Cinnamon Girl. So coming up, you'll hear from the Arkansas girls and what it was like for Neil and Crazy Horse to say hi to him on the stage. So here we go.
I got a little thing for you here now called the Crazy Horse Analog Time Machine.
Oh, good.
And it works pretty good, so all you doubters out there, pay attention to this. Fucking doubters. Be nice. Be nice. I'm talking to myself. Arkansas girls, that's right. I've seen you girls before. I love you. If we ever get a good booking agent, we're going to be down there someday. Yeah. I know she'll hear that one. That'll be on YouTube. That's a hint for you, girl. Okay. Back to the time machine. I'm a little distracted.